So continuing on with our gear, we're going to talk about helmets now. When it comes to canopy piloting and landing your parachute, we need a nice tight fitting helmet, okay? A lot of skydivers like really loose helmets, but why is it really important for our helmet to be nice and tight, okay? It needs to be tight up against our face because if we do have a crash landing, even if it's just a small tumble, when our head comes into contact with the ground, we don't want any shifting of the helmet. It's basically your helmet's going to be what's just hitting you in the head instead of the ground, which is not a whole lot better. Okay, we want a nice tight fitting helmet so that it can do its job, do its proper job. If you ever see videos of motorcycle racers putting their helmet on, they can barely get that helmet over their head and their cheeks are kind of squished in. Obviously, we don't need them that crazy tight. We do want some comfort, but if they are too loose, they will shift around. If you look at Jeannie's, her hair's not in there right now, so it's taking up less room. You see how much this can move around? So now when her head hits the ground, her helmet shifts and just smacks her in the head. This can cause concussions, which we're really trying to avoid, both in free fall and in the ground, of course. Because if you do have midair free fall collision, body to body contact can cause these collisions, can knock you out, and then you have to rely on your AED. Your helmet can skip that step, keep you conscious, keep you alert, so that you can pull for yourself and get down to the ground safely. Now, whether we decide to jump a full face helmet like we have or an open face, that's going to be personal preference. Obviously, we opt for full face because we're going fast near the ground and we might not have the best landings. So the full face is a little bit more protection so that if we do smack our head, it's protecting our jawline so we don't get as injured. But open face is still great protection. We just have to be aware that, anything around your face or your jawline can be a little bit more severe. As far as safety versus functionality, there's some other things to take into consideration. A lot of camera flyers end up using open face helmets because they'll have the ratcheting chin cups that can help keep your helmet nice and stable. Nowadays, it's not as big of an issue. A lot more camera flyers are using full face because of the image stabilization on their cameras. So you're not having to worry about your full face helmet bouncing around a tiny little bit in free fall because there is a lot of vibration that can happen at 120 miles an hour plus in free fall. So not too big of a deal. Another thing that you should be looking for these days is impact ratings, okay? This is the Cookie G4. It has an actual impact rating. It's an Air Sports impact rating. So this is gonna protect you a lot more than the previous helmet, which was the G3 and some of their other lines. It provides a lot more protection as far as preventing concussions and things like that. There are some other helmets out there with impact ratings, but there's not a lot, and we highly suggest having this rating. It's just better safety, better equipment.